Are you choosing a donor or are you choosing a parent? Today, we're going to answer this one crucial question. If you're just thinking, oh, I know this great guy from college and we'll call him dad and everything's going to be okay, that's something that you should really be thinking about. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what is important in this decision. Now, this is not legal advice, so please consult your attorney. But we're going to talk about things that will be very helpful to you. I've seen many of these situations work out beautifully, but also some of them end in court. So it's very important before you head down this path to really consider the implications of this decision. From our Building Your Family community, this is the Building Your Family podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Schuman, author, researcher, and reproductive medicine therapist. Now, if the idea of using somebody that you know to help you build your family feels comforting, I completely understand. You're not alone, and there's a lot of good reasons for this. It's nice to have somebody that you know and trust. It's also nice to have somebody who you know will give you the information that you need, let's say for medical reasons or to meet your child. Maybe it feels good to know the genetics of somebody. There's so many reasons that people make this choice. And again, it can work out beautifully, but it's also important to think about the future. What's it going to be like in 5 years from now, in 10 years from now, in 15 years from now? Will it still be a good choice? Today, I'm going to give you 6 questions to think about that can help you start to decide if this is the right choice for you. Again, it's not a substitute for legal advice, and it's really important to have implications counseling. But these 6 questions will help you get a sense of some of the things that maybe you haven't thought about before. I'm also going to give you 3 tasks at the end to help you work through some of these questions. Question number 1. Are you accidentally choosing a co-parent? In other words, does it just feel good to choose somebody to be a co-parent who could be a donor? Now, we need to think about marriages. People who commit themselves for their lifetime to marriage and then also have children have 2 ways to commit themselves. You are going to have one. And so it may be less likely that you and your partner or your co-parent will be aligned in years from now than if you were married. So we need to think about this as a real issue. Even though people think, oh, well, my roommate from college is wonderful and I trust him and I love him so much, it's great. But you have to remember that this is not a marriage. You are not committed to each other in the same way. Number 2, are you prepared for the financial implications of this decision? For some people, it can be very tricky to be called mom or dad, depending upon what state you live in and your situation. So I'll give you an example. Many years ago, there was a case where 2 women were going to have a baby with their friend's sperm. Their friend was not involved in the children's lives. There were twins. And he decided that he wanted the children to understand that he was around. So he wrote them a birthday card every year, and it said, "Happy birthday, love, Dad." Now, fast forward to the children going to college. The couple were able to sue him for a portion of the college tuition because he claimed parentage by using the word dad. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen, and it can happen in the reverse. We also need to think about when you have a financial obligation, what does that mean? Do you also get to make decisions about what you're spending money on and what you're not spending money on? So, are you both going to be responsible for college and for braces and all sorts of things that the child may need? Number 3, are you comfortable giving your co-parent or donor legal power in your child's life? So, what can this mean? Well, I'll give you some examples of some cases I've seen. I've seen one case where the co-parent decided that he didn't like the child's sports team. I saw another case where the co-parent decided that he wanted the child to be off his ADHD medication. I saw another case where the co-parent decided that he wanted the child to go to religious school. And all of these cases were fought in court. And so we never know what's going to come up in the future, but all of these things can really snowball and cause major legal problems if both people are parents. Number 4, how will this change the trajectory of each of your lives long term? So, for example, is your donor or co parent going to sacrifice maybe a career move because he or she wants to stay close by? Is that person also going to have difficulty dating because they're going to have obligations to the child? Is that date going to feel uncomfortable knowing they're a parent? And what about if either co parent meets a partner and has other children of their own? Can they move away from each other? Can they not? What are their responsibilities to each other and to the child? Also, consider your relationship. If this person is donating for you, do they feel obligated to be a co parent or do they really want to? That's something to dig into when you have your psychological meeting. Number 5, what about your families? How is this going to feel for your families? If you feel that this person is a co parent, does that mean, let's say if he's a sperm donor, that his mother can feel like the grandmother? And will she have certain times where she's going to see the children? For some people, this is wonderful. Some people say, no, my child's going to have more to love. But for other people, it's really a disaster. Are you going to split up holidays? Are you going to spend Thanksgiving and vacations together? Are you going to go with your child on travel team events and then the other parent is going to go? Have you decided how you're going to celebrate birthdays and other events? What about gifts and the way that you want to spend money on the child? Number 6, this is the most important question. What does this arrangement look like through your child's eyes? How do they feel about it? What is going to be important for them over time? When they're newborns, it may not matter that much. But as they grow up, if they see both people as parents, how are they going to feel if, let's say, the dad isn't at the baseball game or the parent teacher conference or every birthday party? How are they going to feel if the dad has a different religion? Are they going to feel like that's my religion too? Or these are my family members too? If they feel like this person is the dad, are there going to be moments where maybe they want to spend more time with that person rather than you? How is that going to play out for the child if they see this person as the father? Now, I want to make one quick distinction. This is very different than a child growing up, understanding their origins, understanding where they came from, understanding the role of the donor, and then wanting to call them dad. That is an evolution that is very different. 3 kids in a family may feel very, very differently about their donor. And some might call him dad, some might not. Some may want to meet donor siblings, some may not. And each child needs to be appreciated for their own personal emotional attachment or lack of attachment. And each child needs to be loved and adored for who they are. So allowing your child to explore their feelings about their donor or their bio dad or whatever they'd like to call him is very different than setting out from the beginning to call this person dad and have them have full legal and financial and emotional responsibility in your relationship with your child. Remember, your best friend's brother can be a beautiful influence in your child's life without being called dad. Now I'm going to give you 3 concrete steps that you can take to work through some of these ideas. Number 1, journal. Open up a notebook and think about what your life could look like with this person, what your feelings will be over time, how you're going to spend holidays and vacations, how your families are going to interact or not. What sorts of things would you want in your child's life going forward? And do you feel that they're in alignment with this person? Start to think about it, write freely, and see what comes to you. Number 2, scenario talk. Start to work through some of these questions with the donor. Also, talk to someone objective, maybe a therapist who understands reproductive medicine, and certainly your attorney, and work through some of the potential kinks or problems that can come up as a result of this collaboration that you're planning to have. Number 3, future you test. Think about if, in the worst case scenario, your relationship completely fell apart, would you still want to co parent with this person? You're not friends anymore. You have hit some bump in the road. You have problems in your relationship and you're at odds with each other. How will you handle these differences and how will it allow you to continue to collaborate regarding your child in the best possible way? So I hope this episode has been helpful to you and I hope it's given you some things to think about. Again, it's education and not legal advice. It's really important to talk through these issues with your attorney and possibly also your reproductive therapist to make sure you're making the best decisions, not just for now, but for the long term for your child and for your family. If you want added support and education, you can always find it in our community. The information is right in the show notes. We hope to see you there. Until next time, and thank you for coming. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was helpful to you. And if you'd like more personalized support, more information, and more education, you can find it in the show notes under the Building Your Family community. We'd love to see you inside. And if you were interested in today's topic, you will really like this video.